How you doing? Welcome to the Superhero Post Show, where we talk all things Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. And today, I want to talk to you guys about Doctor Strange because obviously Doctor Strange is coming out this week. Oh my gosh, it's coming out this Thursday, and I can't wait to see it with all my friends. I mean, I'm so freaking excited. And leading up to Thursday, I'm going to be doing like kind of like a 3 video series talking about Doctor Strange and the movies that he's been in, and just talking about his character growth and just my honest reviews on his performance and his powers and features in these films. So I am super hyped and excited to talk about this. So we are obviously starting off with Doctor Strange 1. This is the intro film for Doctor Strange, like Benedict Cumberbatch's first movie. And honestly, I love Doctor Strange 1. I love it so much. I love the movie because, to be honest, if this was a origin movie for any other character, it would have been super mid. It would have been super trash. I don't think this type of origin film works for any other character. And this origin film that Doctor Strange has to me at least is kind of similar to Iron Man. For some reason, it has a very Iron Man esque type of like format, I guess. Like the format of a rich, arrogant man that has everything and then loses it all, and then they become even better than what they ever thought or dreamed of, or even imagined. And I feel like that kind of theme is kind of both common with Tony Stark and Benedict Cumberbatch. Like there's a point where they lose everything, but then they gain it all back or even more. And Doctor Strange, right? Stephen Strange doesn't, gain back the money and stuff and the riches that he had, but he gets a freaking unlimited power to, change the universe if he wanted to do, and so I just love that theme of Doctor Strange. And what this movie also offers for us is a traditional origin film. It isn't, obviously, we see different things like with Black Panther, right? Black Panther, we kind of got we got a first glance at him in Captain America Civil War. Then we pan to a origin story. Even with like Spider-Man, and obviously, Spider-Man is a different story because we all knew his origin, so they weren't trying to like put us through that, which is good. But same thing with him, right? We go from Civil War straight to Spider-Man Homecoming, which is like he's already in the suit. There's no origin, and so and obviously just watch this. It felt good to see a traditional original origin story where he starts as this something catastrophe. A catastrophe happens. He gets in this car accident, obviously, and then he ends up going to find the ancient one and ends up getting trained. So, like that kind of traditional origin story is something that we don't see very often anymore. It's something that because it gets old. But with Doctor Strange, it's, as I said, it's freaking perfect. And the movie itself shows the progression of how he gets humbled to an extent. Because obviously we see in Infinity War.
Our jobs.
What is your job exactly besides making balloon animals?
Protecting your reality, douchebag.
I mean, obviously it's going to come back. It's who he is. But to an extent, Doctor Strange, he kind of gets like put back on Earth, like, bro, like you're not as great as you think you are. And this movie did a good job of showing that. This movie also opens our eyes to what the multiverse, well, what the possibilities of the multiverse and what it could eventually become. Obviously when like kind of like when I guess when the ancient one astral projects Doctor Strange's body and he basically he's going through the astral plane. I mean, it just shows us the possibilities of the multiverse. And that's kind of the first time that we got to see that. And it makes you go like, yo, like this means so much more than just one little scene. Like, it just opens our eyes and be like, oh my God, like we are going to see something nuts in the future to come, and now it's led to the Multiverse of Madness, which obviously, Marvel has held their word, And another thing that I really love about Doctor Strange is that this movie shows that Doctor Strange isn't necessarily a natural. Like it's not like magic just comes. It didn't just come to him like automatically. And actually, now that I think about it, when the movie first came out, that was one of my fears of like, is he going to be a natural and become like this all powerful wizard in like 3 weeks? Because I don't like those type of stories where you start off like regular and then you become a pro. It's kind of like how. And it's I mean, for example, it's like Ray. Like I didn't like how out of nowhere Ray's just all powerful being, but she didn't train at all. It's that kind of stuff that I'm not a big fan of. So I love how they were like, yo, like we aren't going to make like Doctor Strange OP or OD in the first movie. We're going to make him like a level, like a beatable character, and he was beatable. He got beat up, you know. So I do, I do like that also. But as we go to find out in the future, which I'll be talking about with practice, you know, he becomes the best of them. And you know, we also, and I mean, let's talk about the fire cast that they have. I mean, come on, we got Tilda Swinton as the H1. We have Benedict Wong as Wong, and obviously Mads Mikkelsen. He's playing obviously like the main villain in this movie, which for me, like, I even remember like when he played him, I was shocked honestly that he was going to be the main villain in this film, and I questioned it at first, but man, he was really good. He was a really good villain. And then, as I said before, right, they introduced the some new things that we've never seen, like the astral projection. You know, that to me was freaking awesome. The way that, you know, they're able to exit their body and then they can like come over. And it was nuts, bro. And like, I mean, one of my favorite scenes is when Doctor Strange gets hurt and then he goes to see his ex-girlfriend. She's performing surgery on him and he astral projects his body out to help her, like to help him, like help to, you know, help him do surgery on himself. And then he ends up getting into a fight with another, just a side villain, like a henchman. But like that whole the astral projection for me was my favorite thing of the film. And I was like, dude, I need to see more of this like now. You know, like that was so good. And then we also get this, and then we also get excuse me, we also get an intro into another thing, the time stone. We get to see the time stone, and obviously, like, you know, this was during the Infinity Saga, so we all knew like Doctor Strange was going to link to Thanos somehow. So being able to see the time stone and to see Doctor Strange use the time stone was freaking awesome. And I kind of want to go, I kind of want to backtrack a little bit back to the Ancient One and Mordo and all those people. I mean, the Ancient One, I mean, a lot of fans were mad. A lot of fans felt like Tilda Swinton was wasted because, you know, she was like a one-off movie character, which I to an extent agree. But I also believe that having her as a one-off character to the and act the way that she did was so heartfelt, and I will never forget the performance that she gave. You know what I mean? And let's not talk about Mordo. Like Mordo, and you know, he like he's actually I'm actually very excited to see him in the Multiverse of Madness, even though it's probably a different version of him. But the way he really believed in what the Ancient One did, and the second he found out that she was bad or that she was using dark magic and all that stuff to like further her life and stuff, he just the look of distraught on his face. I mean, that's just dynamite acting. It's just dynamite acting, and to see how it kind of changed his whole entire mood for the rest of the film and ended with him walking away and us knowing as movie watchers that they're going to one day be arch enemies. It was such a work of art the way they, you know, it is hard to quickly build relationships in films. So the way they build Mordo's and Doctor Strange's relationship was so freaking awesome. And the way that they separated in the end show like was it was a work of art. It was a work of art. Shout out to Scott Derrickson. And so then that's it. We as I said, we were talking about the time. So now we got to see Doctor Strange battle Dormammu. And honestly, I wasn't too happy with the Dormammu character. I would have liked it better if he was just like in a regular bodily form than this big cosmic being. I wasn't a really big fan of that. But I mean, the whole thing of how he used the time zone server just rewind the same situation back and forth was awesome and showed his smart and wits to beat the main villain. So it was also dope. And then obviously we get some cool actions with him. And then the movie ends, as you know, basically like Doctor Strange is powerful. He's one of the best, but he has a lot to learn. He doesn't end the greatest. He doesn't end the best, but he ends with he has the willpower to be the best. And I think that's what this movie really is teaching us is that, you know, being a hero isn't based on the skill. It's based on the will, you know? And Doctor Strange's willpower is what led him to do what the Ancient One couldn't do, who was 20,000 million times more powerful than he ever was at the time. So yeah, Doctor Strange was just a really good, a solid origin film. A lot of people don't like it, but I believe that a lot of people want to watch these films, and I get it. You know, I love it too, but they watch it for the cool magic, and that's why in Infinity War, a lot of people like it. Even my like the guy I look up to for podcasting, like Paul Herman, he hated this movie, you know. But I think for a order film, it was pretty calm, pretty chill, and it did what it needed to do. You know, these are one of those films where the movie had one goal, and I believe they reached it and attained it. It wasn't too like flashy, wasn't too crazy. I mean, I think it was flashy with the cinematography, but you know, it wasn't like too crazy. It just did what it was supposed to do. So I was happy and I loved it. So yeah, guys. So that's kind of like why I love Doctor Strange 1, and I just love this movie so much. And uh I believe that you guys should give this a rewatch tonight on Monday when you get home from work, or if you're staying home, you should give this film a rewatch leading up to the Doctor Strange films. Okay. So now next in this next episode, we are going to be talking about the double movie. We're gonna be talking about Doctor Strange, and I was gonna do Thor: Love and Thunder, but it was like 2 seconds. So we are going to do Doctor Strange and Infinity War, and Doctor Strange and Avengers Endgame. If you like this series, please comment. And I'm gonna do more of these. All right, please like and subscribe and show some love. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day. Peace out.